What's going on? It's your girl Shantae C checking in for a brand new Tea and Things. I'm chilling with my homegirl.
Nia, what's up? It's another Wednesday. We're here back in the building.
Yes.
We're going to get into some of this celebrity tea
Yep.
and for sure some things. But first, we are going to start out with shouting out our sponsor, Lucky Coin.
Yes.
If you have a small business you want to grow, hit us up and we'll get you in touch. And like I told you guys, I can vouch. Definitely grow your small business.
Let's get to the paper.
Get to the bag, people.
Look.
Get to the bag.
So today we're gonna give you guys a couple of seconds to come on in, join the live. Remember, if you want to join in on the actual conversation, you have to click on our picture to come to the live portion, and then you can type. You can type and talk with us, and we're gonna talk back to you. So we're gonna give you guys a second. Come on, join us. Nia's getting her phone together.
My phone's together.
Listen, I just got my phone together.
Tea and Things.
So now that I've got my phone together, she's getting her phone together. I guess I didn't have my phone together because it's still talking to me. But okay, so we're giving people time to get in. We're giving people time to get in. Now, what is going on in celebrity news?
Well, I'm gonna get into that story next week with the young Atlanta rapper that died. I gotta get into that.
Oh yes,
next
I heard
week
about that.
it's crazy.
Yes.
And I want to do a little more research on it because there is young Scooter, right?
Yeah.
Condolences to his family, friends. There was a lot going on with this story. That's why I got to do a little more research because they're saying that a woman was being harmed. The police was called.
And then there was nobody in the house.
Then nobody was in the house, and he ran and
something happened with his leg, but then he died from the leg injury. I'm like, what?
And all that can happen. You know, you can hit an artery. You can die from an injury.
I didn't think about that, but I was like, how did he die from a leg injury? Like, that seems a little, that's nuts.
Thank you, Shantae got me together. Yeah, so I do want to, but condolences to his family.
Yeah.
Fans, friends, everybody.
All of that.
Because, you know, end result being death is horrible, but I hope there was not a young lady being hurt.
Yeah.
So, a lot. It's too much. So, I'm going to do some digging for us guys on that, okay? And then also moving on, Billboard did their Women in Music.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce's mom was there, Miss Knowles. She looked gorgeous. I mean, she does not age. I feel like she looked the same as when she put her daughters out, like when back in Deleon days.
Not Deleon. Whatever happened with that?
I don't know, but I had bought a pair of jeans once. They fit good. Of course, I was like a 7 back then, but you know.
Weren't we all?
But Miss Knowles looked great. A K-pop artist, Genie.
Okay.
Took home the Force Award.
All right.
Yeah, that was really good. I want to listen. I started listening to a little of her music, and
she's from Blackpink.
Yes. I listened to a little of her music, and I actually like it. Tell Rachel I might have to listen to some of her K-pop. I might go to a concert or two with her.
Okay.
I like it. I mean, it's good. I cleaned up to it, you know, because I wanted to hear a little more about the artist. And
now, one thing I will tell you that I do enjoy about K-pop is it's not trashy. So, like, I'm completely okay with Rachel listening. She enjoys the music, and I can definitely say that I'm cool with it. It kind of reminds me of how, you know, back in the day when the 90s artists, they had younger artists that came up. That's kind of what K-pop is now. Like, they have the younger kids. They're like 13, 14, 15, 16. They're all in this group. So I like it. I mean,
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was cleaning the house to it. And, yeah, don't even get me started on that. But yeah, I think I spent 2 hours cleaning before the cleaners came for only an hour.
Oh my word.
That's a whole nother situation. But
whole nother story for a whole nother day.
For a whole nother day. But moving on. So LeBron James, they're bringing him back into the drama.
Oh.
Someone's claiming that in 2015, he was definitely
10 years ago.
He was at an after party at Diddy's and watched all this bad stuff going on. So his lawyer was able to dig up that he was actually on the road and playing and in Miami at the time when they were saying
the alleged incident.
Yeah, the alleged incident were in New York. So that did not happen.
I am so sick of these folks. Like, give it up.
I know. And I know that, I mean, LeBron has money on top of money on top of money, right? But it's still very annoying when you have to go and drop your bag on your lawyer because somebody's putting some BS out on you.
But I just feel like it's such a money grab right now. And I feel like they just targeting anybody.
Yeah.
Like literally anybody who has money that could have potentially possibly ever been associated with him. They're going to try to bring something out on
I know. But what's concerning to me is the attorney's got to be involved, because when you go to an attorney, right, and you lay out a case, no matter what that case is, the attorney is going to discuss the case with you or someone from the firm.
Right.
And when allegations are being thrown out, like they're going to ask for some type of evidence. What kind of evidence do you have? What do you have?
Right.
Something. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because attorneys do turn down cases
when
if
there's
you
not
have
enough
nothing.
evidence.
Because now we're all about to be spending a lot of money.
Time and energy
when we have nothing. So
I feel like the lawyers that file these cases, I feel like they should be held liable if they know that it's some BS. I feel like they should be able to get sued too, so that there wouldn't be so much of this.
Yeah.
Because right now they're only holding that person liable. I feel like they should be able to hold the lawyer liable too.
They're taking the case and bringing it.
Right, and saying that they have evidence.
And bringing it to the court.
Y'all need to think about that. Y'all changing everything else in the country. You changing every other law.
So, Shantae just brought a great story to me. That our girl, Pinky Cole, I didn't even know she had lost her business, but tell us all about it, girl.
Oh my gosh.
And the burgers are delicious, by the way. Slutty vegan.
So anybody who has not heard of this company, this young woman basically changed the way that we thought about eating vegan.
Okay.
Pinky Cole, who founded Slutty Vegan, which is like a burger joint that sells all types of plant-based burgers, recently in February did a restructuring of her company, similar to I'm not gonna say that she filed bankruptcy, but when you restructure your company, it's something similar to that. So allegedly she filed bankruptcy, but we do know that she did restructure. During the restructure, she basically had to step down as the owner. Once she got everything settled and she, went to court, decided what to do, she ended up getting some investors to be able to bring her out of the situation. And so now she is back, head of the company, owner of the company. She was allegedly in the hole for about $10 million under the company's corporate side of things. And so, she had to reorganize that debt, get herself back together, and get back on top. You know what?
Kudos to her, man. Sometimes as a business owner, you got to fall and climb back up.
Right. And my thing is, there's no love lost. Nobody is hating on you, and you definitely don't have to worry about anybody saying, because listen, most people don't even got $10 million to say, I need to write that off, or I need to restructure, or whatever. So you did that. I mean, things happen. You're rebounding. You're still standing proud. Listen, girl, you got to do what you got to do. Ain't nobody mad about that, for real.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I'm going to definitely
continue to support. And wish you the most success in the world.
Because I think she franchised out also, so now they have it in other states and things like that. And this woman started from a food truck, y'all.
Yes, and in this new deal that she has, she's supposed to be getting this in Dubai, in South Africa. So I mean, kudos to you, girl. Do your thing. Like a phoenix, rise out the ashes, honey.
Honey. No talk over here. We good with you at Tea and Things.
That right.
And we'll be supporting the company as always.
As always. What else we got going on?
Girl. Lord. Just more Diddy stuff. So let's just go on into our topic, because unless you got something else.
Oh, okay. So I just want to remind you guys, if you are watching Tea and Things and you have not physically clicked on the link to join into the conversation live, just click on the video. You can come into the live chat and you could chat with us, and so we could be right here with what we got going on tonight.
All right.
Because tonight is a doozy. So most people, when they're getting ready to start a business, lose weight, buy a house, all of these different things that you can do for yourself to get yourself up and established, most of the times you talk about it. You talk about it with your friends. You might talk about it with your family members. You might talk about it with a coworker. And sometimes that ain't the right move to make.
No.
So what we're talking about tonight is moving in silence.
Yeah. And I'm actually pretty good at that, would you say?
I think that you are until you get emotionally attached. And then it goes downhill.
But I think that I'm really good at, like, because I be so stressed in the process that to get all these things done, I move in silence, but the outcome I feel like be great. Then I talk about it. Like, you know, like, because it's so much work to do when you are opening a business or buying a business or buying a house, that, you know, if you're, I didn't talk, when I was buying my house, I didn't talk about it with a lot of people. I was just like,
I'm trying
until I was like there. I was there.
Right, getting the key. You were getting the key.
I was complaining about the closing date being moved. And people was like, oh, I didn't even know you were buying a house.
Right.
It wasn't a secret. I just was too damn stressed and doing all of this.
So, you know, what I will say about that is, no, I will not say that I move in silence a lot. I think I do consult and confer with the people that are close to me. I like to oftentimes bounce ideas off of people and get feedback. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that sometimes when you have an idea, you got to kind of see it a portion of the way through, or you got to birth it some, even if it's not making a lot of money. I feel like you got to birth it in the way that you intend, so that doesn't become, so that whatever you're doing is still your vision. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a broken down version or a watered down version of your vision.
Right, absolutely. Because I do think, and a lot of, I try to look at a lot of different seminars and different motivational speakers and even pastors. And mm-hmm. a lot of times, you know, they will talk about moving in silence and how it's so powerful and how it's so good for you, because a lot of times when you're making these transitions, if you have a lot of stuff around you and opinions and negative and all of this stuff, it can
sway
sway you out of the vision or whatever. So that's why they talk about moving in silence so powerful.
And it's real funny that you say that, because sometimes people are not intentionally, your family, your friends, the people who care about you, it's not like they're intentionally trying to sabotage what you're doing, but some of that comes out of the fact, like, say if you're doing something and then that something is hard, right? And it's causing you a lot of stress and strife. The first natural reaction from somebody who cares about you is to say, maybe you need to take a step back.
Right.
And some of that is not that I need to take a step back, but that really I need to stay focused and forge forward. But they love you. They don't want to see you stressed out. They don't want to see you struggling. So, of course, they want to be empathetic to your wants and your needs and say, you know what, maybe you need to take a pause from this. You can always come back to it. You're not abandoning your dream, or maybe you should do it differently. Maybe you should do it like this, or maybe you should do it like that. And so then you begin to water down
your version of what you want.
Your version of what you wanted, but not because anybody's trying to intentionally make you fail. It's just that they don't want to see you suffering. So they offer an advice that might be a little bit easier than the way that you decided to do it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that for sure. For sure. But I think, I do think silence can be powerful.
Yeah.
Now, I'm good at it at some things and not at others.
Well, I mean, I think that's everybody.
For sure. But I do think, especially when you're making big steps and big purchases, and I mean, it is good to talk with people that maybe have been in your similar situation, or if you have that person that is a mentor and a great mentor and never, well, I'm not going to say never going to steer you wrong, but never going to give you an opinion on because they're jealous or this or that, or you don't want to see you succeed or whatever, and not everybody get blessed with those kind of mentors. I definitely have one. My mentor, Bill Gowdy, owns Copeland's. He has been my mentor for years. And that's probably when I am moving crazy. That's probably one of the only people that I may go to.
And just kind of bounce something off of them.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Well, I always say, if you can, and this is something that I learned in the corporate world, if you're gonna vent about something, vent up. Don't vent down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So if I want to be successful in doing film, and I'm having a lot of issues and things like that, it might be helpful for me to vent up to somebody who already got something on TV. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Tyler Perry, but maybe it's that other independent person who is 5 steps ahead of where I'm at.
Right.
That I can say, oh, you know what? I was having issues with this, and this. In your experience, what have you seen or done? Have you ever had those type of experiences, and what was your resolve? I don't think there's any harm in that, but two, it's still, you want to still try to stick with your vision as much as possible.
For sure.
Yeah, because
absolutely,
their situation is not your situation, although they may have great feedback.
Right. Absolutely. So I think moving in silence, I do, the more and more I listen to my inspirational speeches.
Yeah.
that, just the way they break it down is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And so moving in silence is not necessarily never speaking about what you're doing or being secretive about what you're doing. I think moving in silence is more about being about it, not just talking about it. In my opinion, it doesn't mean that I have to be, in cloak and dagger moving around and you're like, oh, I haven't heard from Shantae or whatever. It's not to say that I can't ever speak on, anything that I'm doing. It's just that when you think about feedback and think about how you're getting there, what you're doing to get there, and who you're conferring with to make your moves, you just have to be selective about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
that's factual information. But also too, you can get thrown off your path when you have all of these opinions and things like that around you. And sometimes you got to sit and look back and be like, I'm getting all this business advice from somebody
who don't have a business,
who don't have a damn business,
and don't have two nickels to rub together,
and don't have to. So the feedback is going to be different, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, even and not just business wise, right? So moving in silence could sometimes be fostering a new relationship.
Yeah.
You might be taking your time and seeing like, hey, what am I doing with this person before I really bring it out into the open. I just want to see, where we're going, and if I really even like this person enough to invite them into my world that closely. So it could be that, it could be, a health journey that you might be taking. Like, okay, I need to see where I'm at, what my numbers are looking like, consult with my doctor, figure out what's going to be best for me before I start to share that something with other people. And I may decide, you know what, I need to walk this journey alone, because the things that I have to do to get myself there, maybe people might not understand.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I'm glad you brought that up, for sure. For sure. I'm glad you brought that point up. I try to, when it comes to health, I do, I'm always bringing up my nutritionist, and I will shut you down. If you telling me about your experience with different things, I'm like, I have a nutritionist. I rather have that conversation with them.
Yeah.
But thanks for sharing.
Yeah, for sure, because it can be difficult. It can be challenging, especially that health, I feel like, is a very vulnerable topic. And for you to even feel comfortable enough to share that, you definitely want to have people that understand it from not an emotional connection, but more from a educational perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
So then that way they're not like, oh, well, I know you, I feel like you need to do this, or I feel like you need to do that, or this is what I do. Well, I want it coming from an educational, factual statement,
because everybody's different,
right?
Everybody's different.
Right. And what might work for you may not work for me, but it's okay, and I appreciate it, but
and people are allergic to different things, and when you're allergic, it affects the body differently. It could be swelling, it could be, redness, it could be inflammation, things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I for sure think that just moving in silence at times can be a very
powerful thing.
Right. It could be a life changing thing for you if you just sit with yourself and God, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And really think it through, pray about it, or if you're not into that type of thing,
meditate, whatever.
Or just take
however you do it.
Right, just take some time to find your inner peace and make decisions based on the way that you intended for it to be, and don't be afraid to walk the path alone. Because I think when you move in silence, more times than not, you're walking the path alone.
Right.
And most people don't want to do that. So that's why I think so many people don't move in silence because of that. Because they want people there. They want to be able to talk it through. They want to be able to do that. But when you are on a journey, sometimes you have to take that journey by yourself to get to your final destination.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. For sure. Y'all have any questions?
Well, girl, we got 4 minutes.
All right. Well, I have a tip for us tonight.
Okay, what's up?
All right. So, we all know that plane tickets, they're through the roof.
Okay.
They're high as hell. Okay? Let's just say. So, if you have, this is what I've been doing lately. I'm like, because I'm always sitting on all these Delta points, and I'm always like, oh, I'm going to save my points to go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then the flights are through the roof. So, one thing, and I didn't know that people didn't know this, that you can do is pretty much all the airlines sell points. So if you're like just 1,000 points or 2,000 points away from where you're trying to go, getting your ticket, you can buy the 2,000 points, which will probably save you hundreds of dollars on the flight.
Oh, you know what? A friend of mine actually did that.
Yeah.
I
just did it.
With a plane ticket that she bought, she purchased the miles as opposed to purchasing the ticket.
Yeah. You can purchase your miles. So sometimes, for instance, a flight could be, let's just go with 20,000 miles, okay? And you have 17.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough. And instead of buying that ticket for $800, $900, you can go purchase the 3,000 miles you need, which are probably, the miles go up and down. Sometimes they run specials. Southwest send me specials all the time. We have 50% off a mile. So sometimes I will just buy them, even if I'm not going anywhere, because now I could get 10,000 miles for like half the price.
Right.
And then I might get a flight on a special that's 10,000 miles round trip, And so I got a good deal.
So then the other caveat to this, I'm glad that you brought that up. That's very cool because I saw something and I was like, oh, I need to share this with somebody. But let's say, you know how you can go on cheaptickets.com or Expedia and buy your tickets and you find like the cheapest ticket. And let's say you have Delta miles, Sky Miles, or, so you purchase the cheapest Delta ticket that you can find, and then you can go in your app and use your points to upgrade to a better seat.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Right. So if you find a ticket that might be like, I don't know, let's say the tickets are normally like $300 to get in Comfort Plus, right? But then you find another ticket that's just like economy, that's like $75, but you got points. You could go ahead and buy that ticket, and then when the ticket goes into your app, so whenever you purchase, it'll all automatically go into your app as long as you pull it up. Then it'll say, do you want to upgrade your ticket? And you can use your points to upgrade to the section that you want to be in.
All right. I like that.
Yes.
That's good.
So just in case you didn't know, there's some other little small tips that you got. But guys, that is our time. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always hit us up at tnthangz, THANGZ @gmail.com. Listen, we're live every Wednesday night. Make sure that you friend us, you like us, you send it to other people, share it on your page. We're sharing it to groups, we're sharing it to chats. Listen, we're trying to make 2,000 followers in the next 2 months. So guys, please tell your friends, tell your cousin, tell your mama, tell your auntie. We'd love to have you. That's our time.
See you next Wednesday, same time, same place.